Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. Today I will be explaining why the Thunderbolts need to be brought into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The Thunderbolts were originally a team of supervillains led by Baron Zemo, who were pretending to be superheroes. The villains consisted of many members of the Masters of Evil, a longtime arch-rival to the Avengers. Baron Zemo, the leader of the Masters of Evil, pretended to be a hero called Citizen V. Baron Zemo led the Masters in a plot to pretend to be heroes to win the people's trust. But eventually, the Masters of Evil posed as heroes for so long that they liked it, and they decided to turn good for real. They turned against Zemo, and since then have been a team where former supervillains can come if they want to reform and make up for what they've done in the past. And over the years they have been led by numerous heroes with criminal pasts, such as Hawkeye and Luke Cage. Now in the MCU, we all know that Zemo, much like his comic book counterpart, loves overcomplicated plans. So Zemo, making his own superhero team in some sort of Disney Plus show or movie or something, would be pretty cool. And a storyline like this could easily transition into one of the other Thunderbolts versions. Because in the MCU, Winter Soldier and Baron Zemo are pretty much arch nemesises, or nemesi. And in the comics, Bucky led the classic Thunderbolts team as fugitives from the law trying to protect the Cosmic Cube. So a two-part story arc about a group of villains working for Baron Zemo, then going good for real, and working for Bucky to fight against Zemo, would be a pretty interesting plot thread for the MCU, especially because each Thunderbolt has a very fun personality. Techno, aka Fixer, is a genius with a nanotech pack that can transform into any weapon he wants. Fixer looks and acts like a crueler, more sadistic version of Tony Stark. Moonstone is an edgy bad girl, and her powers come from the Moonstone, a rock that gives her flight and super strength and energy projection. She can turn intangible, has superhuman durability and gravitational manipulation. She is also an expert psychologist. Atlas has the ability to turn giant and is very strong and durable. He's kind of a lovable dope. And then we have Mach 10, who used to be the supervillain Beetle. In both his personas, he wore high-tech battle armor, similar to Iron Man. He takes being reformed very seriously and feels bad about the bad things he's done in his past. He is also a genius. And underneath the armor, he's kind of a dork. And the final member of the classic lineup is Songbird, who has a very cool look and very cool powers. She was enhanced by the Power Broker and was given a supersonic scream. She also has the ability to manipulate the sound waves to make constructs, such as weapons, force fields, and wings. She can also fly and has superhuman strength and durability, and reflexes. Her and Mach 10 have also expressed romantic feelings for each other. So overall, I think this is a great team with a lot of potential for the MCU. With the personalities and the type of fights that these characters get into, I think James Gunn would be perfect for a Thunderbolts project. Other than the classic lineup, there have been many incarnations of the Thunderbolts. There is a new Thunderbolts series coming out this year with Hawkeye as the leader, and alongside him Monica Rambeau. Both of these characters are very important in the MCU right now, so they could bring them in as leaders. Another version of the Thunderbolts, or versions, multiple times they have been used as a group of supervillains that are used as a police force for superheroes. The most recent version of the Thunderbolts as a police force was led by John Walker, who has also been recently introduced into the MCU. So the government creating their own team of superhumans to police other superhumans is a pretty smart idea. So this version of the Thunderbolts could easily be what Vanessa Allegra de Fontaine is trying to create by recruiting John Walker and Yelena Belova. So the government having their own team of Thunderbolts could easily lead to some cool Thunderbolts versus Avengers action in the MCU. Now, in the comics, there is another team called the Thunderbolts that have nothing to do with the actual team. They're a strike force created by Thunderbolt Ross, aka Red Hulk, consisting of some very cool members, including Red Hulk, Punisher, Elektra, Deadpool, Ghost Rider, and Agent Venom. Unfortunately, William Hurt, the actor who played Thunderbolt Ross in the MCU, has passed away. So it's hard to say if we'll ever see Red Hulk in the MCU. And Tony Rivoli is very different from his comic counterpart, Flash Thompson. Flash Thompson in the comics definitely does have a dorky personality, so maybe they could make it work, but probably not. But the MCU Punisher is now probably canon, so they can have him, then Elektra as well. And the MCU has recently acquired the rights to Deadpool. And then, of course, Ghost Rider appeared in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., so just those four would make a pretty solid team. And there are numerous possibilities for what the MCU could do with a lineup like this. So in the end, I definitely think the two best versions of the Thunderbolts are the classic team led by Winter Soldier and the team with Deadpool and Ghost Rider. But all Thunderbolts incarnations are ripe for the picking. And who knows, maybe the MCU will combine all of them. But the version I think would work the best in the MCU, and be the coolest to see, would be Zemo's Masters of Evil posing as superheroes, and then going good for real, and being led by the Winter Soldier. I just feel like that would be a very cool story arc for Bucky in the MCU, and for Zemo as well. Which version of the Thunderbolts would you guys like to see in the MCU? I'd like to see them all. Thanks for watching, everyone.